Alright, two packages arrived today. Starting to feel like a more normal update for once. Ouch. I'm not going to try too hard at that. I still have a little bit of carpal tunnel from Smash Brothers. That stuff does not heal fast. Especially when you don't give your hand a chance to do absolutely nothing. Yes. Interesting. Interesting that that package, which could have had 3 things in it, ended up not having 3 things. Anyways, let's see. A little ouch. Interesting. Let's toss that. And why don't we begin with Overlord 2? This is obviously the thing I'm most looking forward to this week. In the first season, to call it spectacular might actually be underplaying it a bit. To rule is in his bones. And we have... do I even know that person? Interesting person. We got DVD, we got Blu-ray, Region A, English dub. Where's features? Funimation.com. Jesus Christ. It's this big blob here. Chapter 1 to Commentary Overlord 2 at Anime Expo 2018. A message from with Pleiades 2. Okay. Special preview collection. Chapter 1 preview, promotional videos, commercials, text list, opening and closing songs, trailers. Limited edition includes art book, fabric, poster, and art cards. Okay, and for the Pleiades, I think it's interesting to note that for the other release, the DVD discs did not have that on them, but the Blu-ray discs did, so that might be the same for this one. I'm just trying to get my finger under there. Well, that's pretty. It doesn't quite... it reminds me a little of Type Moon in artwork, but it definitely is not quite that. Let's see, and if we start taking a look, first we got this with more of her in... so Blu-ray 1, Blu-ray 2. So that's advertising the Blu-rays. Let's put this aside. Yeah, that's what I thought. The inside has Shall Tear Blood Fallen and DVDs 1 and 2. Oh, interesting. Huh. Blu-ray 1. Okay. Yes, yes. I mean, I don't know if Season 2 is actually as great as the first season, or even if it's great at all, but I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about it. And usually when something follows up and becomes a stinker, that's known. Okay, so you see under here, under extras, it mentions Pleiades 2, and this is the Blu-ray discs. I noticed that, let me get this thing out of the way, that over here, the extras only list trailers. So it looks like this is similar to the Season 1 release in that regard. So the Blu-ray discs are the ones that will have the thing. Here we have an Ice Cold Overlord 2, looks like art book. That was nice and simple. This. That's pretty cool. Let's see. First of all, I guess we've got the art card, which looks like they are related to art. Oh, these two pieces of art in particular. Hard to tell if there's more or not, because it feels thick enough like there could be, but it doesn't feel like it. I don't feel like I have to open this cloth, because I think we already have seen that image a couple of times, and that was the one I said was the neater looking of the ones. So that's pretty cool. Jesus Christ, what am I going to do with all of these cloth things? I don't have wall space as it is. Let's see. Can this fit inside here? That would be kind of nifty. The answer is width-wise, yes, but height-wise, Well, I think it might if I go down that way. Oh well, that should be close enough. Next up, we have a Black Clover that says Part 3. Come on, camera. Jesus. Can't get it to not reflect or not show it while zoomed up. But it's kind of interesting that... Okay, so this... Oh, look at this. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Own the Black Clover Season 1 Collection, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, 4, and 5. So, as you can see, each release includes exclusive character keychains. I don't remember this. Maybe that's a limited edition thing that I missed. But I'm actually going to toss this to the side because this box can already hold more. Because you know this is a Part 3 release. I see right there, region A, B. Actually, this. Yeah, that's a lot better. Although this is for this release, and Jesus, I can't see it in. Okay, we've got region A and B. We've got an English dub. Includes plus extras, which is Studio J, closing special edition. Inside the episode, Black Clover highlights episodes, Texas opening and closing songs, trailers. I'm going to set this aside for now because I don't know how I'm doing this, but we can at least see this neat picture. Oh no, that's a pretty one. So let's set this aside to take a look at the sexy girl obviously hiding underneath this sticker. It's really not wanting to come off. That's unfortunate. It feels like a little bit of something either came off there or, yeah, something came off. I don't know if it was part of the cover or not. So we see person who is 98% likely to be a girl, and just some sexy sleeve action going on there. Season 1 Part 3, and I'm kind of noting this because this 3 is thin enough that from a distance it looked like a 1, and I had to double check. I think we already looked at the stuff on the back thanks to that, so let's take a peek on the inside. We begin by taking this thing, putting it aside. Looking at these characters lined up, we've got Blu-ray 1, Blu-ray 2. Let me see, yeah, that's a 2, a 1, and a 2. The rest of that image, you know, straightforward enough. So I guess the interesting question is, with the slip covers, do I put this in here? Well, I guess it was in there like that to begin with. So let's take a peek at how it looks with 1 and 2. See, I've got, why does it look like there's room for 3 things? Also, I didn't see a keychain. Well, that's not too bad. Let's set that there and continue on. We're going to go with Hunter Hunter. This is the newer one, not the old one, and this is volume 5, which contains episodes 76 through 99. Blu-ray here is region A. We got our main features, but Blu-ray exclusive art gallery and English cast interviews, and then special features, opening, closing songs, trailers, ending credits, which if we look here, I guess, yeah, we're seeing the main features. So we're not seeing the Blu-ray features, so it's good that it's accurate in that regard, I guess. Maybe the other ones were like that, but I guess since I started doing the checking afterwards, the only way to tell would be to pull them out and take a look, and I'm going to do that eventually, because I do want to watch the series. Oh, Jesus. It's just a little more intense, I guess. Especially since, you know, it's like an arm there. It's not bad or extreme or yeah, okay. It just is. I'm just, I don't know, being kind of silly. 2, disc 4, disc 3. Interesting. Disc 3 and 4 are a little reversed there by default. Well, let's take a peek in the Blu-ray version, see if it fares any different in that regard. You know, in disc artwork and let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Might want to check front images and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the Happy Man. Okay, well, alright, so the reason I didn't think to look is because this one isn't transparent. I'm just going to swap discs 3 and 4 right now while I can. I know I could do this off camera, but you all want to know that I'm going to watch these in the right order, right? Yeah, and the cover's not reversible, or doesn't have inside artwork, rather, which is interesting. And last but not least, we have Rocket Girls on Blu-ray. Don't remember, this one was Japanese with English subtitles only, I guess. Region A, all 12 episodes on 1 disc, and standard definition on 1 disc. It's interesting because, oh wow, it's been a while since I've gotten one of these. You know, it's one of those lock covers that is out in a locked state by default. Interesting. They must have ran out and said, oh, let's go grab something from the back. Not really, but kind of funny to think of it that way. Nope. It's an awfully simple, straightforward release. Here's this week's anime DVD collection update, you know, minus those two guys. So, I finished Real Life Final Arc, watched it with my friend, and I guess it's a pretty satisfactory end to the series, I guess. I mean, it is called Final Arc, so there's no spoiler there, I assume. But basically, the series left off at an interesting turning point where you kind of wanted to see what was going to happen just after that. And you could kind of feel how a final arc would be potential after that. And what can I say? It not only lived up to expectations in terms of things being there, but it also lived up to expectation in terms of where we wanted to see it go. Very satisfactory ending to the show. And so overall, I'd say that Real Life is a really neat thing to watch. I mean, true, red-haired girl is kind of a cunt, even when she's considered friendly, but you know, the characters roll with it, they handle it just fine. She does nice things still, so she's not like an inherently evil person. It's just one of those people where it's like, if you hear about people who have resting bitch face, well, it feels like she lives up to actually being constantly in that state or something. And I think it's supposed to be endearing in some ways, and I don't know, it just kind of rubs me weird. So take that with whatever grain of salt of whatever. Anyways, you know, I haven't watched a whole lot of anime this past week, because the other thing I watched is the first half of Princess Principal, and it's pretty neat. It's got a slightly weak first episode, I would say, and I'm only going to say slightly weak, because the truth of the matter is it's not really weak, it's just, it's not the best foot for the anime per se. It does a good job of introducing you to, or, you know, exposing you to some of the characters and ideas that are there, but you kind of don't have a perfect connection. Little interesting things happen, but it kind of feels like, okay, well that's neat, but I don't know what I want to hang on to. And it kind of, there's a lot of first episodes like that in really good series. I think like maybe the first episode of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is like that, and it's interesting because for that one, that first episode is kind of appropriate because a lot of people who watched it also watched the first Full Metal Alchemist, and so it was a kind of an indication that it was going to be something different. And there are some thematic ideas in that first episode that kind of suggest where the series is going to focus a little bit, but not entirely. And you know, if there's, again, the first episode just doesn't introduce you to character backstory, which is stronger, and this is why a lot of people, I think, suggest the 3-episode rules, because some anime need to sell you on the idea that there might be something there. It maybe doesn't want to put too much in the trailer, or can't put anything in the trailer, or something like that. And Princess Principal kind of strikes me as, I guess, being like that. It would be hard to say, oh yes, I want to see these characters, but there's these little touching things about them. And the first episode, I think, does a very good job of at least leaving you slightly endeared to one of the characters, if not curious about the others. And there's a bunch of jumping back and forth in time sort of stuff, because it's not in chronological order, it's in the order of what it wants to introduce you to regarding things. And so far, I think it's worked, other than making it feel like sometimes I was wondering if I missed an episode. So the ordering hasn't struck me as, or the different ordering hasn't struck me as being terribly necessary at the moment. But, you know, I still have the second half of the series to go, and I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I kind of know that it does a good job of keeping your attention somewhere in there, I guess. And I've heard a little more than I would have preferred to about the nature of some of that from an abstract perspective, but I'm not going to say that much. I'm just going to say that, you know, it sounds like, you know, it's worth it to keep watching it. I don't know if it's worth it to finish it per se. You know, it could be an anime with a good everything except for the ending, which sucks, but I do want to see what it's going to do. It doesn't seem to have an overall story it's necessarily telling. Like, you can't watch this and say, oh yes, this is Trigun, and, you know, the first couple of episodes of Trigun kind of introduce you to a bunch of different elements, but they seem to be slowly honing in on something that's developing. And it doesn't feel like Princess Principal is doing that per se, but it could be, but probably not given the size of the anime. Anyways, that's all a bunch of stuff. Oh, I intend to keep watching. It's so far been pretty nice. You know, little endearing things about the other characters have come up. And beyond that, I guess it's just been mostly exhaustion video games. So when I'm exhausted, I've found that VR chat is actually not a bad thing to just hang out. And I have this theory where when you put on the VR stuff, you don't have to do VR for VR chat, which means that you can find people to socialize with just fine. But if you're in VR, then you're kind of just there. So you don't have the ability to have your attention go in wild directions, and it kind of gives you a chance to mentally recuperate. So like, if I'm here processing this video, I'm going to have this temptation also clean up the room a bit, because my brother and his friends are going to supposedly come over, and we're going to do Monster Hunter tonight, and I'm looking forward to that. But, you know, I might also try and set up the stuff for when they show up, not only just cleaning, but also setting up an additional television and switch dock, and I guess I should probably start pulling out the extra stand I have, because that's just been used every single time. So, you know, that's kind of an indication of whenever I'm doing something, it's easy for me to think that I should also be doing something else. If I'm resting in the bath, I might also try to put on a YouTube video, but VR chat kind of allows me to just mentally completely tune out additional superfluous stuff, and then it's just very basic interactions, and I think I'm just kind of enjoying being able to just be relaxed. But of course, outside of that, I have been playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. And if y'all watch my stream, my Twitch stream last week, Braylon, the person who's pulling us forward, gave us instructions to decide on armors that we're going to be using as we transition forward even further into G rank, just because the G rank monsters get really fucking hard. And I opted to actually construct my armor. I don't think it's at the G rank he was thinking, but at the same time, given the way I play and the abilities that I specifically want, I'd say what I've got is actually rather spectacular, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in action in a group, because I've been using it for single player stuff. I've been trying to catch up on, oh, I need to do this and that. So for example, I constructed a G-Rank leather armor just because I need something to do gathering. Well, I don't need it, but just because it seems like a really good idea to have something to do gathering. And I constructed a transport set that I'd been wanting to do after that one monster, for which transport and HD earplugs seemed like a really good combination. So I came up with what I consider to be my ultimate transporter set in this generation. I guess we'll find out if there's things I'll replace it with. Like, I think I'm going to replace the gloves with the Voltrax, the G-Rank Voltrax gloves. And I'll have to construct an additional gem, but I got the parts in order to do that, so that's not going to be an issue. The big issue is going to be, actually doing that. And since we're going to be fighting Voltrax 3 times to get 3 of us up to the next G-Rank, I wouldn't be surprised if I get the items I need to construct just the gloves. Maybe I won't, but I'll probably be able to find people online doing that one and join them up, or join up with them. Anyways, long story short, that's pretty much everything. Again, y'all can expect, well, I guess I can't say y'all can't expect, because my brother said he thought that everybody's down to get together tonight. If it's just me and my brother, maybe we watch anime, maybe we stream some Monster Hunter, and if he doesn't have his G-Rank armor set up, we help him, yeah. Because if there's any reason he wouldn't be able to do it as easily as I would, it's because he's bow, so he just doesn't have as much defense. But the truth of the matter is, he's really good at predicting what monsters are going to do and just not taking any damage, period. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to tonight. But for now, y'all, have a nice one.